Today I'm going to be talking with Michael Valadez, who's going to be speaking about his journey with Amazon Career Choice and how he transformed his career by upskilling. Welcome, Michael, and I guess we can start off just maybe talking about a little bit about your background.
Yeah, my name is Michael Valadez. I currently am a mechatronics and robotics technician with the Amazon Reliability Maintenance and Engineering Department with the Shop Bop location located in Madison, Wisconsin, MSN 5. Been with Amazon for about 2 years now, just a little bit over, and 6 months in the current position that I have with the RME team.
I think you relocated from Texas to Wisconsin, is that right?
Yes, yes. I was originally at the RBD 5 in Irving, Texas, then transferred to MSN 5 in Madison, Wisconsin.
How did you find that relocating process? Is there anything that stuck out to you, or like any tips or anything you'd recommend for people thinking about that?
If you are looking into the relocation process, ask questions, as many questions as you can with the recruiter to see what options they have available. Depending on the level of transfer, there are perks and benefits they will provide. Knowing that ahead of time to not get yourself, expecting something that may not be there is always good. All in all, I would say just ask as many questions and just, keep in contact with the hiring managers. Everything is subject to flexibility if you just let them know your situation, especially if you're doing a move like I did from Texas to Wisconsin. I was given about 3 week notice. So it's a lot to just up and move like that, but Amazon is very flexible in working with its employees.
Curious, do you remember when you first heard about Unmudl, like what that experience was like, and kind of maybe what drew you to Unmudl?
I came into Amazon as a part-time flex employee. One of the things that initially drew me to Amazon, thinking about staying there more long term, was a lot of the benefits, the education that they provide and paying for. So as I got into the company for a little bit, I started exploring the career choice and kind of narrowing down what my choices were. Looking into the mechatronics program, it was early 2024. The way I was working, flex position, my schedule constantly was going back and forth. The online choice just seemed like it was going to be the better fit. So that was how I first was introduced to the Unmudl program. Speaking with Lori, she was extremely helpful and just answering questions and moving me along in the process, and just really encouraged me to just move forward with that.
So, can you talk a little bit about the courses that you took, and maybe like what your experiences were like with those courses?
Before coming to Amazon, I had an IT background, so moving into the maintenance field was all new for me. So I started with the Introduction to Mechatronics course. Then I moved into mechatronics for equipment maintenance. Did the first section of that online, and then as I moved towards the second part of that, I believe it was the beta class or the first class for the in-person lab with TSTC, the Texas State Technical College, had opened up. So I was given that opportunity. Did I want to, continue that second portion online or go hands-on? I decided to go hands-on. That was a great experience, just getting a feel for everything. After completing those is when I began searching for the role that I'm in now. And over the last 3 months, I believe, I have just completed the Principles for Controls program with the Unmudl as well. So looking forward to where that's taking the career as I move forward.
Whenever you would sit down to do your course, would it be like you would dedicate like an hour or two, or I mean, or sometimes you kind of chipping away at a module, or I mean, like how long were kind of like your sessions whenever you would get in the zone, I guess?
So it really would vary. I just really went with the time that I had available. If I had an hour, I would, just dedicate an hour. If I knew I was going to have a half a day, I would, set my time aside, do a half a day, just try to find a good place where I had quiet, quiet space, no distractions, and just really just focus in on what it was that I was learning. If it was going to be a long day session, making sure I took breaks, walk around, maybe just go for a quick drive, get my mind back refreshed, and then get back into, where I had left off. And just really just stay focused on knowing what the end goal was. That's really the driving factor whenever we push ourselves to anything, is keeping the end goal in mind of where it is you want to see yourself once completing the program.
Curious if you can maybe talk a little bit more about your experience with learner services and maybe some of the benefits that you got from them.
But there is one thing about the Unmudl course that I do like is that the fact that at the end of the courses, whether it is the mechatronics or the controls, they have the principles that Amazon is looking for, and they give you these to get you refreshed. Whenever you're applying for a position at Amazon, whether you're going into the maintenance tech or now me looking to get into the control system, they have a bit of a criteria that they're looking for. You know, with the mechatronics, they're looking for a certain mindset, certain skill set. They want you to put things in a star format when you're doing your interview process. Unmuddle did a great job of preparing me for that with the star process, knowing how to break down my stories and make them captivating to whoever the interviewer was going to be. I know I did have a hiccup at a moment that Lori did encourage me through as I completed the program. It was start applying. A couple months had went by. I was not really going anywhere with it, but she just encouraged me, just continue, pushing forward. And she offered, can we look over the resume? What help can we
So,
provide?
what
So,
is the day in the life like as a robotics
a
tech?
day in the life of a mechatronics and robotics technician, it usually begins with emails. You start right in digging into the emails. You're placed in teams usually. You'll have a shift lead over you if you're going into a tech two position. So you're checking your emails, you're seeing what may have happened throughout the facility while you were gone, just getting up to speed. Sometimes there are lingering jobs that, they were initially troubleshooted, but we're keeping the ticket open just to monitor it. Now it falls into your shift, so you're continuing that monitoring process. Your lead will then assign your jobs. Usually those jobs are going to consist of PM walks, preventative maintenance walks. So you're going to be assigned a section of maybe conveyance or chain driven area, P&A, print and apply, whatever it is your facility may hold. You're going to go out there. You're going to take different readings, thermal, strobe lights, ultrasounds, maybe just using your eyes, your ears, and your nose, just going out there and looking and smelling and just seeing does anything sound off. Through those preventative walks, you're just trying to troubleshoot and diagnose and find anything that may be an issue down the road. So through those walks, if you see anything, you put in a follow up, and it gets sent out to the planner, and they'll assign those jobs to whichever team it's going to fall on. And the goal is to keep machine running without it failing. And then you have your downtime window where critical issues or work follow up work orders that look like they may be issues, you now have a downtime to be able to address them where the facilities is closed, operations has shut down, many of the workers have left. Now you have that time to just lock everything out, uh, get in there, fix whatever needs to be fixed, get it back running, troubleshoot it, make sure it's sounding, looking good, and then kind of close out your day, close out your work orders, your tickets, and get ready for another one.
What do you like most about your job?
The thing I like most is that no 2 days are alike. Every day you come in, you're gonna have different, problems that may arise. You're gonna have different things that may fail. You're going to have different work orders coming from operations. You're going to have, we can't control the weather. There's going to be weather issues. So in a sense, unpredictability of where your day is going to be just makes the day go by so much quicker, and I just enjoy that. Most days you come in and you're just like, okay, what's the challenge for the day? What are we attacking? What's the game plan? What's our downtime? Let's prep for the downtime. Let's get the parts that we're going to need. And then in the midst of that, you may get some calls. You may get, a failure here or there. So it's just, going with that flow. It's almost like running on an adrenaline rush all day. Like, all right, let's stay in the moment. Let's stay prepared and stay ready and just attack the day as it goes. One thing at a time. Close them out. and just go for the wins. You
What
know,
advice would you give to someone who's thinking about taking an Unmudl course in upskilling?
Unmudl is a great program. It has many of the same Amatrol, the same trainers, the concepts is very comparable to the RMA program, the apprenticeship program. Many of the colleagues that I work with went through the apprenticeship program, and we're comparing things, and it's very, very similar. The main difference is, one is going to be in person, one is going to be online. And, are you that type of person that's going to be able to commit yourself and be disciplined in that online focus? Because it can be challenging, especially, finding time and space to not be distracted and to focus in and to commit yourself, making sure you're ready for that commitment and that preparation to be disciplined through it, to push through it, and reminding yourself what the goal is for the program, where you want to see yourself, what position you want to see yourself, and really just take that time, in the beginning to set yourself up for success as best as you're able to.